Aaron, what is our first main topic today?
This comes to us from Darren KD Simmons, who says, "Hi, John. I have to admit, I thought it was a joke at first, but it looks like they're actually making a third Princess Diaries movie. When I thought about it, I guess I shouldn't be surprised with all the older IP getting brought back to life again. Do you think this is a good property to bring back again? Thanks."
All right. Thanks a lot for writing that in, Darren. And look, under the category of content not made for Giovanni, that's Princess Diaries. Of course, I saw it when I was younger and stuff like that. It's charming. But listen, there's no denying that the very fact that we say Princess Diaries, y'all know what we're talking about. Y'all know it. I mean, that says something about the legacy, if you will, of that franchise. I mean, it's Julie Andrews and all that kind of stuff, obviously. But I think, Darren, that you absolutely nailed it. We are living in an age right now. We're going back to older beloved IP. Kind of seems to be all the rage right now. And to be fair, in some avenues, it's having a lot of success as well. And if you don't think there's a lot of like young couples or families who might have like young children of their own now who aren't already going, I can't wait to share this with my kids, you're crazy, because there are. Anyway, this comes to us from the good folks over at Deadline, who wrote the following. A third Princess Diaries film being penned by, I got to try to make sure I say this right, Adrita Mukherjee, who is also the main writer and producer on Reacher, by the way, is in the works at Disney. Deadline can confirm. Details as to the threequel's plot and the involvement of Anne Hathaway and Andrews are currently under wraps, but the new film is understood to be a continuation of the past story rather than a reboot, and Anne Hathaway has recently confirmed her interest in reteaming with the Mary Poppins Oscar winner as recently as last month. All right. Clearly, Deadline saying we don't know officially if Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews are being there. We do know it's a continuation. This transfers very quickly from a pretty solid good idea to a really dumb idea if you don't get Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews in this. Provided they're willing to be in it and all that kind of stuff. And by all reports, they are willing to be in it. What's the point of doing it and calling it a continuation of that story? No, I'm not even saying they have to be the main characters. Like Princess Diaries could be Anne Hathaway's daughter, could be the main character or something like that. But I think you absolutely have to have them in there. Anyway, Chris, I'm going to make an assumption here that this is a series of movies you've watched and enjoyed.
Yes.
What do you think about the possibility
I love them.
of another Princess Diaries film?
I think it'd be heckin' cute, as long as the script is right. But who does she end up with? Who does Mia end up with? Because at the end of Princess Diaries 2, spoilers, she ends up with Chris Pine, but they changed the laws of marriage so she doesn't have to get married in order to be Queen of Genovia. So, did they stay married? Does Michael come back in the picture?
Is that the country where the X-Men live?
No.
That's Genosha.
That's
right,
Genosha.
yeah.
Little different.
Big crossover,
I would
I thought.
love that crossover event. Disney, give it to us. It's what we deserve. But I know I was reading in Glamour that Robert Schwartzman, who, shut up, Rob. I do my job. When we have a story, I go research it.
This is no judgment. I take much delight in it.
When I was reading Glamour, Robert Schwartzman was saying that he has been approached about coming back for the third one. He played the love interest in the first film, but he wasn't able to do the second because he was touring with his band Rooney. So there might be a little love triangle in there, or
Bad
we get
career
to
choice.
find out. Yeah, apparently, yeah, right. And then they get some schmuck named Chris Pine to fill in for him. Who's
In
even
his
that?
feature film debut.
Yep, and he's great in it.
Was that Pine's debut?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good for him.
We would not have him as Captain Kirk if it had not been for the Princess Diaries.
Yes.
Now
people
Rob
are
hates
okay
the
with
Princess
that.
Diaries.
Actually, I thought, Chris Pine is a great Kirk. He just was poorly written in Star Trek 09.
Hey, we're not going to get
Let's talk about
sidetracked.
Star Trek.
Hey, I didn't bring it up.
But as our Princess Diary aficionado,
Yeah.
let me ask you this question. I made an assumption that, because you know what they say about assuming, it makes an ass out of you and you. But if this assumption that I have that this becomes a bad idea tonight, like, can they do a third one without Anne Hathaway, Julie Andrews?
No.
Okay.
Get the hell out of here. You can't do that. Remember when they tried to do a Mamma Mia sequel and they were like, Meryl Streep will kind of be in it? No, don't do that nonsense. You have to have them both. They have to both do it.
You know what? That was still a pretty good Mamma Mia movie.
It was decent, but come on.
Yeah, I know.
It didn't capture that magic.
Aaron, now
Deep
unlike
nuts.
Chris, you do not strike me as a Princess Diaries girl. Was this one that was on your watch list in Texas?
No. This is a millennial film. This is definitely like, I'm hardcore Gen X, as is evidenced by my 80s hairband, Vince Neil in a Coke bender, trashing a motel room.
And the fact that you brought up Tawny Katane.
Oh, this is literally my
That's the first
dream.
thing you said
My
to me
dream
this
has
morning.
been
I'm
to
like,
be
yes.
Tawny Katane since I was like 8 years old. Anyway, this isn't about me or Star Trek. Yes, I this is definitely a millennial film. This tugs at all the heartstrings, the millennials who grew up watching these movies, and yes, Anne Hathaway absolutely has said that not only would she be willing to do it, she's pulling for it. She said that she would be happy to go wherever Julie Andrews is currently residing, put a green screen behind her, and literally just film her. She wants this to happen. She wants to make this movie. Julie Andrews, on the other hand, in 2022 said, no, it's been too long. It just doesn't, it's not going to happen. I think that the hard sell would be Julie Andrews. It sounds like Anne Hathaway would move heaven and earth to make it happen. And then as for Chris Pine, he said, if it shoots in LA, I'll do it. Which is kind of funny. I'm not getting on a plane. I will not do it in San Diego. I will not do it in San Francisco. But if you shoot it in LA, preferably in my backyard while I'm still wearing my slippers, I'll consider it.
So let's amend the question a little bit then. And I'll throw this back to you, Chris. Can you do Princess Diaries 3 if you have, your Academy Award, your one Academy Award winner, but not Julie Andrews? Could you say that the character has passed away? Could you still do it then?
You could, but doesn't that feel a little cheap? I don't know. If they did it well, they could. I would hope that they could do something. I mean, Julie Andrews, just do a Zoom call with Mia. Come on.
She did come out of her semi-retirement to do this movie. And the last movie she'd done, the last Disney movie, that she did before this was actually in 1964.
Wow.
Yeah. So clearly Princess Diaries has something, she has a special love for it. I think that if anybody can get her to do it, it might be Miss Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
So come on, Anne. We're all pulling for you, even us old geezers from Gen X.
The real question I would have for you, John, is would they do this film for theatrical release? Because this seems to me to be, they're turning like Hocus Pocus 2, which I think they should have released theatrically.
Yeah, and I think they're realizing that now.
Yeah,
Who's
I
putting
mean, I
this
think
out?
this is one of
Disney.
these movies where I'm sure somebody, the reason this came into being was they want to do it for streaming. And I I saw the first Princess Diaries movie. I thought it was a good movie. It's a good movie. It's not my thing, but it's still a good movie. They need to think about these things not as streaming fodder.
You know what? I'm going to go on a limb because I don't know the answer, but I'm going to go on a limb and say I think this gets a theatrical release. And I think you're starting to see, like, we're obviously seeing Warner Brothers leading the way in getting it, that's the way. But I think we have been starting to see that all the other studios are cluing into that too. And I think this will go theatrical. I don't know that for sure.
This is a theatrical franchise, and they're trying to turn, because these aren't epic films, I think they're missing out on like you pointed out, this is a Gen Z millennial thing. It's mothers and daughters. It's this huge audience that people don't think of. This movie could have a huge opening weekend.
Yeah, I mean,
Huge.
relatively speaking.
And
yeah.
also look at the success of The Crown. People clearly, and the success of, what's the Anne's favorite show that she wears the hat and eats
The Crown?
The Crown.
Oh,
Downton Abbey.
Yes.
Oh, Downton Abbey. Sorry,
the one with
yes.
the downstairs,
She
upstairs
does
people.
that for both of them, actually. Yes.
Yes, exactly. So that's the thing. I mean, there's clearly an audience for this, people who really love to watch this, this land of princesses and princes, and and it's got that what's that Audrey Hepburn movie? The Rain in Spain.
My Fair Lady.
My Fair Lady.
My Fair Lady.
My Fair Lady. That
Pygmalion
whole
with music.
fish out of
Just you
water
wait,
kind of
Carrie,
story.
take it.
People love that.
All right. With that down, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? I mean, obviously for maybe some of us watching this video, like Princess Diaries isn't made for us, but I mean, there's no denying that's a recognizable IP. You've got some beloved people who adore this movie. Do you think this can happen? If so, in which way do you think it'll go? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. The holidays are officially upon us, and it's time to start celebrating. Do your thing and holiday your way with MeUndies. Because it's the most wonderful time of the year to try MeUndies, because they're currently offering a very merry deal. Get 20% off your first purchase with free standard shipping and free returns when you go to MeUndies.com/Campea. Guys, you know I've been wearing MeUndies for a while now because I used to be like everybody else. I would go to the big store, buy the biggest box of the most generic underwear, and I thought that was good enough. But ever since I started MeUndies and started wearing the most comfortable underwear I have ever worn in my life, I swear on this Christmas season, I will never go back. So get your holiday shopping finished early and start making time for yourself with the new MeUndies holiday collection. Their undies, long underwear, and sleepwear are made out of the softest, most supple fabric you've ever felt and are guaranteed to bring you comfort and joy to all of your loved ones. Shop their classic plaid prints for a traditional, picture-perfect style, or get festive with their adventurous limited edition sweater prints. Available in sizes extra small all the way through 4XL, MeUndies has what you need to make all of your favorite people smile this holiday season, all in one convenient place. So to get 20% off your first order, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/Campea.